to Golf in the Cosmos, where physics meets the fairway and the universe takes a swing at your mind. Today we have two-time Olympian Carlo Valdes. How are you?
Good, man. Thanks for having me. Excited what we can talk about today, especially when it comes to golf. So,
yeah. I on your Olympic profile, the first sentence is like he likes to golf, and you're a bobsledder.
So dude, it's funny because when we were in Lake Placid, New York, because that's where the training center is there.
Okay.
Middle of nowhere, 2 hours away from any major city. There's only really a few things you can do there besides like train, rest, eat, sleep, repeat, recover, all that. On weekends, if we're not going to the bar or hanging out by the lake, we're golfing.
Wow.
We golf a lot. So
it's an Olympian thing, and you're not the only one. You're not this weird guy that golfs.
No, a bunch of us golf, and even if we can get away on a weekday, we'll do it. But it's mainly on the weekends, and they let us play for free there. So it's pretty sweet deal. We just pay for a cart, $14 a round.
Okay, now this is making more sense.
Yeah.
You're at Lake Placid Country Club.
Yeah. They have the Lake Placid Club. They have Whiteface Country Club, and there's another one. There's 3 courses there you can really play.
Okay, wow. And it's not the winter when you're training. It's not snowing. Yeah, you're training off season, right?
This is all in the summertime.
Got it.
In the wintertime, no, they close the courses down.
Sure.
Plus, I mean, it's just cold.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. Yeah, I lived in the DC area for a little bit, and like April was freezing, and I wear like big cart gloves with warmers in it. So I still got out there. Like the courses would be open, but a little bit icy.
Yeah. That's some people in the Midwest and the East Coast, like they're crazy. They try to squeeze in every single day they can before they shut the courses down.
Right.
So.
Yeah.
I remember I lived in upstate New York in Rochester, and funniest thing was I showed up back from winter break to go back to school, and it literally I called the course up. I think it's late February, and it happens to be 50 degrees, and I'm like, hey man, can I come play? And he's like, dude, what are you even talking about?
No.
He couldn't believe I was asking the question, but I was just coming from SoCal. Like, I can golf anywhere, anytime, right?
No. So something you probably learned too, up there, they go through mud season before the courses open. So once the snow melts, they got to deal with the mud, and then they have to let it really dry and like fix the course up a little bit before they reopen anything.
Yeah. I'm always actually amazed what these courses, how good they can get them after the type of weather that they get in the winter.
100%.
That's amazing.
Well, I call it the grass grows for free up there, because like during the summer they can't cut it enough. I mean, there's just so much green trees and grass. It's amazing for golf.
Yeah, yeah, it's great.
So would you say, is everyone a decent golfer? Are they more like, wait, you're a 12, right?
11.2 now.
Okay.
So
right after Sunday's round.
Yeah, I was probably a 12 playing while I was like still on the bobsled team, just because we did go out there a lot, but like we weren't working on a game at all. It was just a way to get out and hang out, and like, believe me, there were some 100 stroke plus rounds out there.
Yeah, sure.
But there are also some rounds like you play with good people. You'd shoot like an 80 or low 80s round.
Yeah.
And those courses are fun to get around, like really fun courses.
Mm-hmm.
There's like a links course, there's a mountain course, there's a par 3 course at Lake Placid Club, and then Whiteface is really tight. And then the other course, it's kind of like your local muni, really. Okay. So really fun to get around.
Are you playing with other bobsledders or all types of the athletes?
Mostly the bobsledders, but there's other athletes or Olympians living there too, like skeleton athletes, luge athletes.
Okay.
Those are like the main groups that we hung out with, because they're around our age group. Everyone else is younger. Not golfing just yet, but or we're golfing with like some of the staff, like some of our athletic trainers. His name is Andrew. He's really good golfer. He's probably like a 5 or 6.
Okay.
And then when people come into town, they want to play, and they're pretty decent too. So yeah, if you're up there, go check those courses out. They're fun.
Yeah, no, Lake Placid. I went to a wedding there, and it was beautiful. Really, really nice place. But so was anyone like scratch? Like I just think of an Olympian, and I'm like, they're they're good at everything, like a Steph Curry type. Like they must be good at golf too. But
not that I remember, honestly. We were all hacks, just a bunch of hacks. But that course, you know, I've had a lot of good like chip in shots there. I had my first. I've never had a hole in one, but I had my first like long, like 2 on a par 4. It was like a 159 yard shot, like uphill out of the rough, and we couldn't see it because it was a blind green. And we got up there, it was like, well, it's not over. It was like right in the hole. It's kind of the similar shot I had with these guys playing over here at Costa Mesa. It was like a 156 shot, same shot in Los Lagos, like hole 5, I think.
Yeah.
Like I have had those. I've never had a hole in one though, but no scratch golfers that we play with up there. We're just all just a bunch of meatheads.
No, hole in ones are funny to me because I've met like, you know, older guys that they're like, I've had like 10 of them, and they're like a 15 handicap. Like is a hole in one all luck? You know,
I mean, it's just any given hole. You know,
right?
Like you can look like a professional and do better than someone based upon like how well you strike it, or just, you know, just whatever's going on in the universe, when you want to call it that. Just
right.
Golf's so funky. Like even Tiger said it, is like, dude, any given shot someone can hit, like a shot like a PGA professional can hit at any given moment. So. Right.
No, that's a good point. Like at any kind of moment in time, everything, you know, can get thrown out the window, and they have a Tiger-esque you know, shot. The hole in ones though, I mean, I guess the tour players do have more than the average person, so it's not complete luck, but it's part of me is like, if you play enough golf, if you hit enough shots, you might get, you know, a hole in one here and there by just pure chance, you know.
And like, just think about the amount of times, even though someone hasn't like knocked in the hole, how many times they've gotten like within 3 feet. It's just, you never know.
I mean, I've had 2 at Andrew. I think you've had
I've had 1 at Costa Mesa.
Oh, you've only had 1?
Well, I guess I've had 2. The other one was at Baker.
That's still a golf course.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're at 2. We're tied on our lifetime competition with the rest of the world.
Yeah, I mean, the hole in one, I don't think anyone, like, you can actually try for it and get pretty damn close, but it really is just a volume game. I mean, and then conditions, and sometimes the miss hits go in, so it has nothing to do with like, oh, I pured that, it's going to go in. But my common saying on the course is, when I'm trying to score, I start hitting shots, I go, get in the hole. Like, it's going to go in from 200 yards out.
Or even like those nicer courses where like they literally build in a backboard or slope for you, where you just hit it to that part and let it roll to the hole, whatever its
little funnel
is.
Might go in.
Totally. So, I like those courses where you aim, you know, sometimes I'm just only aiming for those spots just to make it look pretty. Like I could probably get it closer just rolling it short, but
just put it like in the difference between where the hole is and that slope is or something.
No, definitely. So we played last week, right? We did like a morning 9. Here's the scorecard of that round. So we ended up tying, but it was interesting how we went about it. You know, I think, you know, I think I had a lot of 3 putts, and I wish I had the other stats here, but you had like no 3 putts. Your amount of putts was so low on this match, and mine was so high. So it was a different way that we shot these 44s.
I had that 1 3 putt on 14, where I hit the green and just 3 putted from there, which is just dumb. But,
so I mean, this isn't the prettiest card, but it was 6 in the morning, and
a little wet.
Yeah, it was muddy. The ball wasn't really going too far, but it was just funny when we ended up adding it up. You know, we ended up tying. We're like, oh wow, but
it's a fun round.
Yeah, but I'm wondering, like, when we played that round, I never got the sense that you cared that you were too competitive about it. Like, where the whole time I'm like, I got to beat the Olympian, and the whole time I don't even think you were checking the score.
No. Like you'll see that with me on the golf course. Like even like say if we're playing Wolf at Costa Mesa with like either 4 or 5 of us, or we're doing some type of like betting where, you know, it could be a different game. I don't know. It doesn't matter. The point is, like, I just like being out there. Like I can be all serious over like a golf shot or a putt all I want, but it's really not going to change anything, because I don't practice those moments because we're not professional golfers, right? So what's the difference going to be with me just coming up to the ball like all loose and just saying, all right, I'm just going to do what I do and see what happens.
Yeah.
Compared to me being like, oh, if I don't hit this perfectly, then the sky's gonna fall.
So how do you make decisions out there? Because like you're often between two clubs or choosing between risk or like playing it safe. How do you make that decision?
I would say the only time I really line things up is my drive, like now especially because I do play a little cut now. So I make sure my grip's correct. I come back, I look at like a spot, probably 3 feet, 6 feet in front of me. And that's my aiming point for my drive. And then maybe only on my longer shots I do that. Like with my 4-iron, my 2-iron, I do that, which is why I have like a lot of good 4-iron shots. But everything else is just like, all right, I'm going to just, I feel good. Like I'm aimed at like towards the hole. It's at some capacity, some radius. So like, I know I'm not going to hit it right at the hole every time. Right. So just hit it. Like, make sure I do my little... I come out because that helps make sure that I don't come too far in and shallow it out too much. And as long as I do that, I feel comfortable in my pre-swing routine.
So you're not concerned with, I know you played your buddies on Sunday or when we played, but you're not concerned with if the opponent kind of messes up. You don't see like, oh, this is a door opening for me to take the lead.
100%. I still think that, especially if there's a lot more money on the line, then I'll like have that type of mentality where I'm just fucking with someone. But most of the time I just like to hang out.
Right.
Like I think it was me, Mike, Garen, and Gil and Kev. It was a 5-man wolf. Mm-hmm. And on hole 18, it got to the point where like I think I bet like $42. Like so it was like 42 dots. Okay. It got really ridiculous. Oh. And I betted that, and I can see like half of them like get nervous, and the other half like Mike's saying, "Oh yeah, let's do it."
Yeah, there's like, 2 different ways to take that, right?
And I was like, "Dude, I'm having a great time. Let's do it." And we ended up pushing the hole, so no one won. But
no blood.
Right? Yeah, no blood. But I still love it. Like it's just to me, it's fun. Like what's losing or winning $30, $40, $50 on a hole going to do to me? It's not the end of the world.
Right.
And then either way, you guys know this, if you bet enough money or bet enough time on the course, like it all ends up like washing out.
Right.
Like no one's like down heavy right now on our betting, I feel like.
No, you're just passing it back and forth, and that's kind of fun.
Yeah, it is. Like it allows you to play for something.
I've played with guys that they're betting like $1, but after each hole they would hand them the $1. Like they loved the aspect of the pass back and forth, like, oh, I got it, I won, okay, and then now I lost it, here you go.
Well, actually, I mean, that, but now I'm thinking about the whole competition thing. Maybe I should do that more because at Kierland, for when we're at Jackson's bachelor party, on that back 9 where we're playing against or with each other, like we're just like someone in the group's got to do well. Right. And then the second we got into it, instead of 5 strokes, 4 strokes, 3 strokes, then I'm like, all right, like that was a fun back.
Well, yeah, and anytime it's a team, like especially if you're a team trying to play with other people and trying to beat another team, that's why the Ryder Cup is so unique.
Yeah,
that there's a different aspect to that. Playing for yourself can be, one thing works for one person, something else works for another potentially, but I always betting trips me out. Like I'm like a freaking different person. Like if there's $1 for it, like when we played, there was no money on the line.
Yeah, no,
we were not playing for anything, and so I don't know. Maybe if we were playing for $1, then I would have shot a 43 and then beat you by 1. I don't know.
Maybe. Yeah, you never know.
Or shot 45 and lost by 1.
Yeah. You never know. We'll never know because we didn't bet on the damn thing.
Well, that was the thing. Like I was making putts and he was missing his birdie par opportunities. So
different strengths, right?
Yeah.
Like
I had a lot of GIRs and then a lot of 3 putts, and then your game looked totally different. You were chipping on and making any 5-footer. You were on a streak there. And then Sunday though, you actually beat your handicap. I saw on Sunday.
By 1. Yeah, 1 under net. So,
wow.
Yeah. But I've gotten more consistent with my differential. Like my differential average used to be like 16 or 17. Yep. Now it's like 13, 14. But I haven't put together a full round in a while where I would shoot like a 7 or 8 differential, which would lower the handicap. Now it's like all between like 9 and 13, which is why I'm an 11.
Yep.
So I'm more consistent now, but I'm not putting rounds together, and it's kind of upsetting me. I'm like, come on, the floodgates got open.
You can almost expect, like, that's kind of a leading like indicator. Like if the differential is getting, lower, you're almost bound to lower your handicap in time. If you keep getting out there and you're more consistent, you're gonna post that low number at some point. You would think.
True. It's very true. Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point. So, but I'm not too mad about it. It's just anytime I get out there, it's fun.
Yeah. It doesn't keep you up at night.
No. I sleep fine.
Right. So I want to get into a little bit about, being an Olympian bobsledder, right? There's only 2,000 to 3,000 of you every 4 years that go to this. So we are in like kind of a unique company here. And as far as the mental game, how do you guys, you guys and gals, prepare mentally to this is something we talked about a few months ago, but like get into like peaking for me. Like how do you peak out at the right time? Because that's how many second or minutes is that race, right? It's not.
It's 4 heats, and the amount of like the duration of us pushing each heat is around 4 or 5 seconds roughly. So add that up, that's only 20 seconds of pushing in the Olympics.
And so pushing, for those that not as familiar with bobsledding, the push is the start, are you saying? And that it all comes down to that? Yeah,
so the race consists of a few things. It consists of, really it comes down to 3 aspects, where it's the push, the drive, and the equipment. So you can lose the race off a push, but you can't necessarily win it off the push. You can put yourself in a good situation or a good position, but it all comes down to like still you have to drive it down the track, and is your equipment and aerodynamics stacking up with everyone else. So the push is just the first part of it, but we have to make sure that we're doing our part and pushing as fast as we can to where we're like in the top 3 at the start to give our pilot a chance. And if we don't have like a sled that stacks up with everyone else, then at least we can still give ourselves that opportunity if we have like a really, really good fast push compared to someone who maybe have like, the 10th best push in the field, but their driver is really good. So we have to like be on our game. But yeah, so the push it starts on a wooden block. So whether it doesn't matter if it's 2-man or 4-man, and the wood block on the ice is about like 1 inch to 1.5 inches high. So that gives us the ability to push off of it, almost like a block start without like those blocks you see in track and field. It's enough for us, I guess. I don't know how to like describe it, but we're able to do it. We practice it a lot, and then we have 15 meters from that piece of wood to the first timing eye, to where that time actually starts at that 15-meter mark, and then it's 15 meters to the 60-meter mark where the second eye gets split, and that's where they measure 1, our push start, and 2, the velocity going into curve 1. So yeah, we practice that a lot, obviously, not just like the start, but the pushing, the loading, and then getting down and set in the sled before the grooves. The grooves are where, you can see when we push it, the sled stays straight. And the sled stays straight because the runners are in the groove. The second they're out, the driver has to be in and make sure that it's neutral so that we still go straight into turn 1. So there's a lot of variables. And then having the highest velocity too makes all the difference.
So how does the scoring work? Like, do you throw out bad heats? Are you taking?
No, it's all combined.
Oh wow! So you can't even have one bad heat.
No.
Oh my gosh! Wow.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it doesn't work that way. It's all just combined. But so you have to be on your game, and every rep matters, especially when we're training. Because when you're going on the track, like you can only take like, depending on the track you're on, only 2 to 4 runs a day.
Wow.
Because the G's mess with you a little bit, like being in a sled for that amount of runs messes you with a little bit. Wow. Yeah, you're almost like brain dead almost after each day.
Because how many G forces are we talking about?
Through like the the high pressure corners, some tracks have 1, some tracks have 3 or 4.
Oh, so the track can determine that.
Yeah, but like we're pulling like a max peak like 6. Wow. 6-ish roughly.
Oh man.
Yeah, and some of those turns are can be like 50 meters long or as long as 200 meters long.
Look up the G's on a spaceship, like Apollo missions. Like how many G's are they feeling? Because 6 seems like a lot.
Yeah, but it's not sustained. Like maybe like 3 to 4 seconds on the bigger turns, but maybe 1 or 2 normally. But again, it adds up. It really does.
Right.
When you're doing it over and over and over again. Yeah. It's close to what fighter pilots are feeling, astronauts are feeling. Yeah, it's pretty.
And that really makes the train. You can't train forever on that. Like you can't just do that 100 times. Like we're gonna be the best at this. Yeah. Because you're physically gonna, cash out because of all the G forces. So 3 to 4 a day, and you're only up there, at that track for how long before, right? I mean,
yeah, that's why the lifespan for like a push athlete's like so little in the sport, like 4 to 8 years, or 1 to 2 quads, as you say. A quad is just like 4 years.
Got it.
Olympic
right. And you did 2.
Yeah.
2 Olympic Games, right?
Yeah.
Pyeongchang and then Beijing.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah, 2018 Pyeongchang, Korea, and then 2022 Beijing, China.
Wow.
Yeah.
Amazing, man. Thank you for your service, man.
Well, it was great representing the country in sport, not with the military, but yeah. We had Veterans Day yesterday, so we got to keep it clear.
For sure. But I still think that's much more than I've done for my country.
So I appreciate it. Thank you.
We definitely thank you.
Yeah.
Do we get the G's?
Yeah, I threw it up on screen for a second, but it literally is identical to what you're running. It's 3 to 4 G's typically for a takeoff and coming back in, or re-entry, but then reaches up to 6 G's, which is kind of what you were just saying. Is like,
wow.
So they're obviously experiencing it for an extended amount of time. They're not just hitting that on the 2-second turn or whatever it might be, but
yeah, like I would imagine a launch like 3 G's just like going up with all that propulsion behind you. It's still like a bit to hold you down, but again, your body adapts to that kind of stuff. So the body is just it's capable of so many things. So like you just get used to that stuff once you're in season, which is kind of crazy. So like there'll be days where you just get in the sled and you're just like, oh man, like my body's really feeling it. Or there's like race days where you're just on it because your mind knows you need to be ready, and you're on like a gram of caffeine like I was, like 1,000 milligrams. So you just don't feel anything because you're just so into it.
Wow.
So yeah, again, your body adapts to that, but it still feels the effects afterwards, if that makes sense.
Do people ever pass out on it, like while they're on the track, like from the G's?
No, it's not like that wild.
Yeah.
I do know like there are moments where like some turns are so high intensity or like high pressure where I would say like Thunderbird and Whistler is one of them. Curve 16 where you're pulling a peak 6 in that turn because you're going like 150 clicks plus in that, so like 95 miles an hour through that turn.
Jeez. Wow.
Where like you just get absolutely your head just goes straight to the bottom of the sled and you're like kind of drooling a little bit.
Are you on your back during?
No. We're sitting down like folded. Like
so
depends on where you sit.
Depends
on where you sit in the sled. 2-man, you're folded, like completely folded. If you're a 4-guy in a 4-man sled, you're similar. You're folded. We call it like 4-headed brakes or helmet to brakes. 3-guy in a 4-man is his feet are out here, but he's digging his head into the 2-guy, so he's kind of like hunchbacked into the 2-guy. And then the 2-guy is full on cannonball. So like imagine like jumping in a pool cannonball. That's how like 2-guy sits in a sled in a 4-man behind the pilot.
Wow.
So and then the pilot is just like he's sitting like this driving, like he's got the best like situation. Plus he's not experiencing too many G's being in the front of the sled.
Oh. Okay.
So when you're in the back, you feel it a lot more.
You feel it more. Oh wow.
Yeah. How much faster do 4-man, especially at the start, go than 2?
I mean, it's pretty similar, but
okay.
as physics work, with a heavier sled, you are going faster in a 4-man just because of weight.
Yeah.
With each discipline, there are weight limits to each discipline. So like, they put those in because one is safety, and two, they know if like you just get like a bunch of fat dudes in there, by the time you get to the bottom, you're cruising.
That's cheating.
Yeah, but like maximum weight with everyone in a 2-man is, I believe, let's see, it's 170 kilos empty.
What's that in pounds?
So that's like 360, 370 ish, and then that's 410 max.
Okay.
With everyone in it, so you can be on average like 120 kilos. It might be 390.
So do you guys do weigh-ins? Like the four of you, the 4-man team, do you all do an official weigh-in?
Yeah, after the first heat.
Wrestling?
After the first heat, yeah, we have to.
Okay.
Yeah, and then for 4-man, its minimum weight is 210 kilos. So that's what is that? 460, 462, 464.
Okay.
And then with everyone in it, everyone can be 105 kilos. So that's 630 kilos max weight for a 4-man. So that's like 1,350 pounds roughly, I think.
Okay.
It's a lot of weight.
But so you actually finish the race, and then an official is weighing you guys. You stand on a scale to make sure that you're following the limits.
Yep. Yeah, and we try to get to that limit as close as we can without like freaking out.
Sure.
Usually pilots like to be like 2 kilos light, but there are times where, just based on the combinations that we have of guys in the sled, where like beginning of the week we'll be like 4 or 5 kilos overweight, and we'll be like, oh man,
so you guys are actually cutting weight for this?
Some of us, yeah.
Wow.
but there is like we call it a race day whoosh effect, where like our body just rejects everything, and like we're shitting everything out essentially.
Yeah.
So like by the time we get to race day, we know we're probably gonna lose a kilo or two, probably a kilo each. So at that point, without practice gear and just with that, we know we might be under. So if we're like 3 kilos over in practice, we're like, all right, we're fine. For the race, we'll be good. But we'll definitely still draw the fine line, where there have been times where I think the least like difference I've experienced was, I think we were like a half a kilo under.
Wow.
And our pilot saw, he's like, dude, if I said we were good? I'm like, I thought we were good.
Yeah. But, well, we are good by a half kilo.
We are good by less than a pound. So like, yeah, that was close, but wow. It all worked out.
And is that due to like the nerves? That what do you call it? The whoosh
effect.
How about 1,000 milligrams of caffeine?
Yeah, that amount of water we're drinking, and then like, dude, your senses are so heightened before a race because
the Olympic race. Yeah.
Oh, dude, I took 1,500 milligrams before that. Wow. Yeah, I was crying in heats 1 and 4.
Right.
I was in tears. But that's just the sport. Like you see it when you come in, you're like, dude, these guys are nuts. And like you see other countries are yelling and screaming before the heat or the races, whatever. And they're like, all right, I guess that's what you got to do. And then you learn to channel that stuff and like turn it into like a controlled aggression type of deal, where you're locked in, but like, dude, you're ripping some like grunts and some screams there too. Wow. And so it just, guys approach it very differently. Some guys need to be more calm, especially the pilots, but other guys just need to get out of their mind. Like myself, I had to take the nerves out of it just by becoming just an animal.
Yeah.
Like, and it would work. I would feel nervous for the race, but once my adrenaline and my caffeine intake rose, there was no nerves. It was just like, all right, there's a push bar and I need to break that thing.
Wow.
Oh my gosh. I'm getting butterflies like just thinking about imagining like waking up that day, the day of the Olympic, of your race.
Oh yeah.
And a lot of days you're hanging out, right? You're not on that day.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, yeah, there are times where like 4-man, you're always going to be racing most of the time. 2-man days are going to be like, yeah, not everyone can race. And usually we do like a kind of like a switch off schedule where, we have a couple 2-man guys that will go, and we have one guy that will never do 2-man. So we know that it's going to be like one off, one on type of deal. So yeah, which is good because we got to be able to last all season. Doesn't matter how good you are. The whole goal is to like obviously be competitive, but to save ourselves for world championships or for the Olympics.
And those are every year, right? World championships
every year, yeah.
Okay.
So 3 years in a row of that, and then Olympic year, and then World Cup season is every year. It's like 7 races to get the ranking you need to be able to pick the optimal position for world championships and Olympic races. Because so like doing well in the season matters. You have to accumulate points in order to be able to pick what your spot is in the order for race day, because you want fresh ice.
Oh my gosh,
fresh ice makes all the difference.
So you want that good seeding kind of, and that has to do with how you did at Worlds and things like that. Okay.
Yeah. In ideal conditions, most conditions you want to be first, but if it's snowing, you don't want to be first. You want sleds to be the snow plow for you to get the sled off, or the snow off, excuse me.
I see.
Or if it's warm, it could go either for you or against you, because the track could be frosty, and even though they spritz the ice, it could frost up pretty quickly. But when sleds continue to go down it, then the frost kind of dissipates, and the sleds going later actually have more of an advantage at that point if it's warmer. So conditions play a huge role in the sport as well. There's so many factors. It's crazy.
How many seconds is the differential between first and 10th place? Are we talking like swimming where it's like very, very close?
It could, yeah. It depends on the track. Like let's just say, let's take Koenigsee for example. Koenigsee, Germany, where they haven't been operating for the last few years because they had a terrible storm that took the track out. But they'll be coming back next year. But that track, there's so many close races there, because it's like you start out fast and there's not really too many places on the track where you can really mess up, at least for on the World Cup level. There's a lot of good drivers that know where they're going. And I can tell you right now, between like first and 8th on that track one year was like 2/10.
Wow.
2500ths.
Wow.
Damn. It was a really close race. And then like Winterberg is kind of like that. Like you can be like 3 to 4 tenths between first and 10th. And that's after 2 heats.
Jeez.
That's not one heat. That's 2 heats.
Yeah.
Park City is kind of like that. Eagles, Austria is kind of like that. There's several tracks that when you get there, you're like, all right, it's going to be close.
Tight.
It's going to be a tight race.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think it's something that I've been wondering, and maybe other people have, is the Olympic Village. How do you have days to hang out there? Like, is it the party that everyone kind of that everyone says it is, or that you hear about?
Yeah, I mean, from experience, yeah, it's not like summer though, because summer there's 4 times the athletes.
Got it.
So it's a bigger village. There's more. I mean, plus you're outside. It's summertime. Like you can hang out outside, and there's more stuff to do. I'm guessing. Where in wintertime, yeah, it's cold, and we don't have quite as many athletes. There's 2 villages. There's usually like a main village in like the host city, and there's like a mountain village
up on the mountain, right? Okay.
Yeah, for all like those events on the mountains. So yeah, I mean Pyeongchang, Korea was great because it was a full-on Olympics where there's no COVID rules or anything like that. It was like pretty much
because this was pre-COVID.
Yeah.
Okay.
People would tell me what to expect or tell us what to expect, and it far exceeded my expectations. Exceeded.
Because it's 2018. Everything's back to normal. What we thought it was pre.
Well, yeah, it's just what it was, and then in 2022 it was the complete opposite because it was still COVID games.
Yeah,
and I felt bad for like the first time Olympians because they couldn't experience what it actually was. They just you're in a village with like all the athletes, but you couldn't really do anything.
Yeah,
we couldn't go to Beijing to watch like the other events or anything like that.
Oh wow.
We couldn't hang out in the city. We couldn't like check out the Great Wall. We couldn't do things outside of like what we're doing for competition, which sucked.
Right.
But Pyeongchang we can do whatever. It was great.
Wow.
Yeah, it's 2 different sides of the spectrum right there. So that's why if that was their first and only Olympics, that's just terrible.
Yeah.
Right. But for the guys who are still going and are about to experience this new Olympics in Cortina, Milan here.
That's right, in Italy.
February. Right? Yeah, that's in 4 months. They're gonna have a great time. They're gonna have an awesome time.
Yeah, February, right? 2026. Yeah. That is coming up. Wow.
Yeah.
And you still I saw you were with those guys recently, right? Or in Utah, was it?
Yeah, I was in Park City. They were out there training before they left for Cortina. Actually, they're right now like kind of doing a test event.
Okay.
Their first World Cup's there, so they can take like a ton of trips, get used to the track. And it's almost like a it's a prep event, really.
Yeah.
So so they can get ready and get all the reps they can, the pilots, and get familiarized with the area, things like that. So they're racing. Their first World Cup race is on the 20th, so it's like a little over a week away.
Oh wow.
From the World Cup season starting, but yeah, hung out with them. Showed face. I still am a little involved with what the USABS does. Want to help out any way I can, and it's still great to actually be able to help out in some ways.
Yeah.
So anytime they're out in Park City, I try to make my way out there.
That's so cool. Yeah. How's the team look this year? What do you think?
I mean, they look great. It's all about executing, really.
Right.
Got to execute. It's one of those things. So the women's team, they're always great. I mean, we got 3 of the top women's pilots like that are going right now. They're on World Cup and they're going to do really well. Kaylee, got Alana, Keisha, she's doing really good. They're all great pilots, and then our pool of women athletes, push athletes, are really good too. And then for the guys' side, we're definitely gonna have 2 sleds there. In my opinion, we could potentially have 3. It has to go our way.
That's from a qualifying perspective.
Yeah, you gotta through points and quota spots. I think they only allow 2 nations to have 3 sleds.
Oh wow!
And you already know Germany is going to be there because Germany is just, they have the best program all around as far as development, equipment. Just logistically, they're in a good spot to always get 3.
Wow.
But usually the more competitive nations are going to be us, Canada, Latvia, Switzerland, Russia if they're allowed to slide, and then I feel like there's another one, but there's also other countries that don't have necessarily the depth, but are just really good. Austria is good. Italy has a good sled. I mean, they're the host nation. And a couple other countries too, even Monaco in there.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and sometimes Czech Republic. It just all depends, really. France. I mean, the list goes on.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we have solid 2 guys, 2 pilots that can do really well, and then 2 crews that can push fast.
Okay.
So as long as they do what they need to, they'll be fine and be competitive.
Right. You bring up Russia, and you said if they can, and that has to do with the doping, right? That they have kind of sanctioned for the cheating that they.
So originally, the athletes that were part of it, they got disqualified and couldn't compete and had to vacate their medals and things like that. But they let them compete in Pyeongchang, but not under the Russian flag, under.
That's right. Okay.
It was I forgot the name, but it's pretty much a.
Yeah, people of Russia or something. It was it wasn't for the country.
It was just under a white flag, really.
Yeah.
And then.
And what's your experience with WADA? And that's the World Anti-Doping Agency. It started in 1999, I believe, in order to kind of standardize the type of testing. I mean, I think I've just heard from, I follow UFC a little bit, and it's the random things that they will test for and catch people for. And you brought up, caffeine, so that's allowed unless you just outed yourself. But
so yeah, for caffeine there's a limit. I think it's 2 grams. So 2 grams is wild anyway. I don't know why you want to take 2 grams. That's next level stuff. So there's a limit to how much caffeine you can take and other stimulants that you can take.
But you are allowed to take up to that.
Yeah. Okay. If it has meth in it, don't take it. Yeah, they ban meth products. but yeah, there's other stuff on there. So like, yeah, USADA tests us a lot. Obviously, sometimes WADA even will too. Like, so when we're in it.
What's the difference between USADA and WADA?
It's just U.S.
Okay,
U.S. base
and then the world one.
Yeah,
got it.
Correct. Yeah. So we have to give them our whereabouts at all times.
Yeah, tell me more about that, because that's crazy that they do that. Like, you're an amateur athlete. You're technically not a professional, right? That's the definition of an Olympian, right?
Yeah, not making a certain amount of money. Yeah.
And then part of your daily things you have to tell them where you are always.
Yeah, it's crazy, and you have to do that every quarter. You have to fill out like this thing online that shows you, all right, this week, this day, down to like the hour where you're going to be at.
Like if you have a trip planned with your family or something,
you got to put it down.
Wow.
Yeah, and from there, yeah, you can give them you have to also give them a 60-minute window if you're in the international testing pool, which WADA is part of. So if you're like a high profile athlete, they can technically come on your vacation to where you're at and test you.
At any moment.
At any
right?
moment, yeah. So if you don't update it, like say you're supposed to be somewhere but you didn't go, but you didn't update your whereabouts, and they show up there, and you're in California and they're in Colorado, that's going to be a strike, and you get 3 strikes when it comes to whereabouts.
Oh wow!
Happened to me once. I had a whereabouts failure.
Really?
But, yeah. but it's like a slap on the wrist. It's just right. A reprimand. It's just like, hey, don't do it again. So. So there's that, and then if you fail a test, like you can't do that. So if you fail a test, you can get a 2 or 4 year ban.
Wow.
Depending on what it is.
Well, and the idea is a lot of these performance enhancing drugs have like a short half-life sometimes, right? So they're not even in your system that long, and they're trying to basically catch people while they think it's still in your detectable, right?
It's a scary thing, especially nowadays. So they have they have a ban list. You can go on like globaldro.org to like look at what's actually banned in and out of competition, because there's some stuff you can actually take out of competition that you can't take in competition.
Got it.
Which is more on the stimulant side of things. And
let's just be clear, a lot of this stuff is sold at GNC, right?
Yeah.
Like this isn't like you have to go into a back alley to get some of the stuff, right? I mean, this is regular stuff for some guys.
Yeah. Especially nowadays with like peptides, especially with the half-lives on those, like that can be in and out of your system in like 24 hours. So,
but those are banned technically.
Yeah. Still. Yeah. Peptides for all athletes are banned. Just because of like the recovery benefits, the performance benefits, everything else in between. And you can even see they have like on the WADA website, or Global Drill, one of those websites has a watch list. So if you see it on the watch list, you probably should take it or at least experiment with it, because it's not banned yet, but it's probably something that's going to help you.
Right, because they're concerned about it. Yeah, they're watching it.
Yeah, but like 95% of the things on the watch list end up being on the ban list the next year.
Okay.
From what we've seen. So
wow.
So yeah, there's a way to beat the system, if you want to call it that, or bend the rules in your favor, and that's one of them. But of course, it comes with all right, are you smart enough to again experiment with it or overdo it, where there could lead to negative things, and not only in the short term, but in the long term as well. Mm-hmm. Steroids, for example, that's a long term bad effect that's gonna have detrimental effects on your body.
Yeah, I see. Even if you get a short term gain from that, it might not be worth it.
Yeah.
Potentially. Well, I'm wondering which drugs on the WADA watch list are going to make me stop 3-putting. Can I start experimenting with some of those?
Yeah, I mean, it's something that slows your heart rate down, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah, there are definitely drugs on there, say for
But I don't want those long-term effects either. But
yeah, no, it even though it might not be physically enhancing, from what you think from a strength or a speed perspective, there are things on there that help you lower your heart rate.
So it's almost mentally enhancing.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
because it's a focus booster, or it helps you, in high pressure situations where could elevate your heart rate. Say, golf is a great example, probably.
Right.
Tennis players, table tennis, just like random sports, like
public speaking too,
stuff like that, where just like the smallest thing can help out, just put more things in perspective and slow everything down for you, which is very helpful.
Right.
So it doesn't necessarily have to be like all brute and power. It can be like mental.
I feel like people initially think of those performance enhancing drugs as like it just makes you buffer and whatever, and stronger, but there's way more on that list.
There's everything.
Everything
you can think of is on that list.
Wow. So isn't there some things that are in, like you drink like a weird tea or something and it had something, like there's kind of naturally occurring things that was there ever things the coaches were like, oh, don't eat this food because it's going to trigger?
That's all bullshit.
So those are excuses that the people say.
So because
you read that sometimes.
See, that thing. It was like 10 or 12 years ago, where they're like, "Hey, don't eat the meat in Mexico because there's like testosterone or steroidal like effects on it if you eat the meat, where it can show up in a blood or urine test."
Oh my gosh,
that's a lie.
Right.
Yeah,
those people were supplementing on the side.
No, don't get me wrong. Like if you ate enough of it, maybe. But if you ate it like once or twice, like people claim they did, like say, oh, I had it once and there's like, I guess there's enough in there. Like, no, there's not enough like volume in there for it to make a difference on those tests. There's not. So for the people that were in that, and if they hear this, I'm sorry, but that's a lie.
Oh man. And so what kind of do you know about what the Russians did? Like, I know there was a great documentary about the guy was unscrewing the piss jars and putting clean piss in it. But did you ever see or hear about like where they would see the athletes, because you're there, you knew guys on the ground in 2014. That was when it all kind of got blown up, like, was it obvious these guys were doping? Like,
I mean, it wasn't obvious, but it's so crazy because they would, like, when we're having conversations with them, and they didn't really have direct conversations with me, but like I overheard stuff that they would say to other athletes from different countries, and they thought it was okay. So there's it's more of an innocence thing where they're
just athletes at the end of the day, right? They're trying to do their best.
They were raised to where this was okay. Like, oh, this is fine. Oh, I've been told to do this my whole life. Why is it bad?
Right.
So they don't hear the other perspectives or like the actual effects that it makes on
fairness,
everyone else,
cheating.
So it comes down to more of like the innocence level of those athletes, especially in Russia, where they thought it was fine. They just take it in the off season and don't take it in season, and they're like, oh, we're good.
Interesting.
No, like it's wild.
Yeah.
Obviously they know now, but that's just how they were raised.
So it was totally a culture thing.
Yes, 100%.
I see.
So it was just like, in their minds, they didn't think they were doing anything wrong.
Right.
And they were just trying to get an edge. It's not like they won every Olympics or anything. Like, they weren't getting first place because they were doping. If anything, they were just trying to maybe not get 8th place. They're trying to just move up a little bit, right?
Yeah, dude, it's just, again, like, depending on where you grow up, like cultural things, it's just, you'd be shocked. Like, the more you venture out and actually, learn more about, like, how people do things, depending on whether it's a sport or, whatever thing or culturally related thing they're doing in that region, you hear about it, you're just like, what are they doing?
Yeah.
Like, but that's the reality.
Right. And, certainly. And if anything, that is getting more accepted. There's this new guy that's trying to start a new games, where you're allowed to dope, or you're allowed to take performance enhancing drugs, I should say. And he's trying to start, I think it's going to be in Vegas if it ever launches. But that's a new idea that I think wouldn't have even worked a few years back. But now it's starting to be accepted as like, these drugs are there. Let's see, where you can peak performance-wise.
Yeah, the enhanced games.
Enhanced games, thank you.
Yeah. They've been talking about this for so long. Like, I mean, it keeps coming in the news like once a year, I feel like, but nothing ever happens as far as like the amount of people that want to do it. I did see a clip, though, of one of those Australian guys that was doing it, and he ended up like breaking the world record, I think. So they had like I don't know if it was a test run or whatnot, there's a few other athletes that have committed to it too, but I just don't know how many athletes are actually going to do it to where it can be a thing where it's going to be like some huge platform.
Yeah. Well, it's just potentially it's a slippery slope. Like, at what point are you racing next to, you're going against like a robot or like a humanoid half robot? Like, he's so enhanced, that he's not even, he's half man, half computer, and he got into the enhanced games,
Yeah, I don't
like, how far do we go? How far can we take it?
I don't know. Like, if they want to do that, fine. Like, especially knowing that they are on whatever Neapolitan cocktail they're on of shit, but I can see the entertainment part of it, and I can see how someone's trying to bring a market to it, but in my mind, it's just like in the long term, like, who cares?
Yeah,
I don't know. Like, it's just like, oh, you broke it, cool, and then next. It's like, I say that, and then now I think about like the Olympic movement with all the other sports, where every 4 years it becomes big, and then the hype goes away.
Right.
It's going to be like that. Like, it's just like, oh, it happens, and then once it's done, and no one really thinks too much about it ever again until 4 years later.
It's the spectacle that happens, and
the Olympic hype's real. Like, every 3-4 months. Every 4 years gets real, and then it just goes away.
Yeah, it deserves. I mean, the history of the Olympics is just so vast. It goes back, like ancient Greece or whatever was the first Olympics or whatever, and then it's interesting too how it's become a way to show political strength for countries. That's why they like finance these things, right? That's someone's paying your coaches, right, and getting them. Paying for your hotels and travel, and that's like the country is essentially.
Yeah. So I mean, one of the cool things about the Olympics is that even though it only happens every 4 years, but like every 2 years with like the winter and the summer games, like, it does bring the world together. So it doesn't matter if like there's a war going on or political unrest or whatever it is. There's always like a month or 2 month long like peace. Because like it just unites the world in competition and sport,
and that's a beautiful thing.
It is. It's great. I mean, that's why I love it so much. Like, I mean, hell, like in Beijing, when we had all those issues with like, hey, like traveling to China, is that something you're worried about? I'm like, not really. Especially like in opening ceremonies where when we're walking in middle of that the crow's nest, or what is it, the bird's nest, the crow's nest, the bird's nest, and right there, and you can see, and you look up, you see Xi Jinping and Vladimir Putin, like just like literally 30-40 meters away from you, just like on like that main mid-level like suite area.
Wow.
So I mean, I think it's awesome that the world unites in that sense, but like when it comes to the athletes like representing their different countries, depending on what it is, there's so much government support with those athletes, where like with the US, like we don't get a lot of like government support. It's just like one of those things, like being an athlete in the US it's the American dream, and people are like working jobs as they're training and competing with no aid.
Do you think that's because we have so many professional sports leagues here that take the spotlight, or?
I mean, it could be a number of things, really. I've always questioned like why there isn't more support or aid. But at the end of the day, I mean, it is a story, and people love those stories, and they eat them up, and yeah, that's part of the road that we go through to get there. But I think it's also cool that other countries support their athletes extremely well, especially if they win a medal. Like, I'll give you an example. Forgot his first name, but his last name's Chopra. He's an Indian javelin thrower, and he won gold in Tokyo. He might have won gold too in 2024, but anyway, he won gold, and he pretty much was he won like $100,000, and now he has a pension for every year for the rest of his life, where he gets like, I think like $50,000.
Yeah.
Every year for the rest of his life, because he won a gold medal.
Wow. So, and we don't have that for gold medalists, you're saying?
No, we now, as of 2016, if we win prize money with a medal, then we're not taxed on it. So it's all tax-free money that we win.
Okay.
So that's,
yeah.
I mean,
wow.
Thanks.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah, now we get tax-free money on any prize money, but to win a gold, I think it's like 36,000, 35,000. Silver is like 2,300 or 24,000, excuse me, and then bronze is like 8 or 10,000.
That just puts into perspective how much MLB athlete, like the top tier athletes in the U.S. get paid. I mean,
yeah, it's such, the gap is way too large.
Wow. Well, it's interesting because what happened with NIL, with NCAA athletes, how they now can actually get paid, because I think of them, they're kind of similar to an Olympian. They were, at least, you know, there's all these TV contracts, you know, going out making tons of money, and then they weren't getting paid at all, and that's essentially what the amateur athlete Olympian model is. And that changed significantly with college. I mean, we knew some guys that he was like he got like sponsored by an underwear company, and he was in a commercial, and now, you know, and he just played football for Colorado and gets a check for these commercials that are on YouTube and stuff. And
I mean, that's why we call them like the 1%ers for Olympic athletes who are actually earning a lot of money.
And it's all sponsorships, though, right?
It's all sponsorships, because any dime that comes from the USOC is a stipend. So those stipends are generally between, like, say $100 and $2,500 a month, and then the rest just comes down to prize money that you're winning through like those events throughout the year, and then those top athletes are getting like those big time sponsorship deals, like you know, say Lindsey Vonn, Michaela Schifrin, Shaun White, Simone Biles, man, who else? Like, you know, that group of people.
The Wheaties box.
Yeah, well, well, not necessarily the Wheaties box, but like just those ones, those athletes are getting like hundreds of thousands of dollars, if not more, from those sponsorship deals.
Oh yeah. Look up the top grossing Olympic athletes. I was curious, but that the weird thing is, or what's really interesting is what happened with college. That was the same thing, and then now they changed a lot. You know, you just feel like something maybe does need to change with, you know, potentially.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to change in the near anytime soon, honestly, which is just, you know, unfortunate, but the reality.
But so how did you justify it? Train. So you're basically sometimes using your own dime to go train, maybe off season. It's not like the USOC is not going to kind of pay for everything, you know, for your gym memberships or whatever. And
yeah, like a good example would be my first quad between 2014 and 2018. We would take trips to Calgary, and the reason why is because they had North America's one and only indoor ice house facility to practice our starts. So an ice house, you know, we're able to do the start simulation, so like that, you know, 15 through 60 simulation on ice, and then it just goes up, same thing, and it comes back.
So it's not even a full track at all. It's just the start.
So we're able to crank reps on that thing.
Yeah.
So we had to go to Calgary for that, and those trips were on our dime, and those would be like, you know, a couple grand for each trip, just because of travel, lodging.
So you guys are getting together, going, hey, let's go do this, because then we can be better, but we got to pay for our tickets though.
Yeah, but now we don't have to do that because we have an ice house facility in Lake Placid, so that drops like the out-of-pocket expense for those athletes by quite a bit, which is great. But everything else, like if you're national team, you get all your housing paid for in Lake Placid, or if you go to Colorado Springs or Chula Vista, you can get all that stuff paid for. And once you're in season on the national team or Olympic team, like you get everything else paid for. You get the travel paid for. You get everything else like attached to it. Like if you need to go to the gym that day, we had to pay like say $50 or $100 out of pocket, then that's covered.
Okay.
Or we would get reimbursed.
I see.
And yeah, they do take care of us, but it's just like.
But you're often spending money from, you know, out of pocket. A lot of these athletes are.
Oh yeah, if you're not national team, it's all on your dime.
Okay. Do you have that? Do we have that list of the top grossing?
Yeah, I mean, all it would give is like Steph Curry, like just the most famous
That's
athletes.
what would count.
Oh, type in amateur.
What about winter athletes or that one?
Yeah, do that. Minus hockey. Or go in ChatGPT.
But say amateur, because those guys, some sports they let the professionals play in it, right? Certain ones.
Yeah.
The top grossing amateur Olympians from sponsorships, essentially.
Ali Gu, yeah, she did.
Yeah,
China takes care of her.
Show that, because I think he knows some of these people.
Like they gave her like 35 million or something. Michaela Schifrin's obviously one of them. Shaun Wei, the ones I already mentioned, yeah.
Yeah. So 7.5 million, 8 million.
Yeah, Bodie Miller definitely back in the day. So here's a fun fact about USA Ski and Snowboard. They are a separate entity under Team USA, meaning that Team USA, usually all like the NGBs, which stands for National Governing Bodies, they're all under the Team USA umbrella, where their funding gets passed through Team USA and then they disperse it to those NGBs. Where USA Ski and Snowboard is actually separated from all that because they have so much money going into that, where all the benefactors, over time just wanted to keep it separate. So the way they're distributed funds is different than all of Team USA combined.
They know they're giving money to like Shaun White and these people.
Yeah, I mean it's not like a whole lot, but that's why the sponsorship opportunities are so big for them, because they have that market and they have the people that are facilitating those relationships. I don't know the actual numbers behind it, but I just know that they are a separate entity.
I see.
And do things, on their dime to support their athletes.
Got it.
Yeah.
Got it. Yeah, I mean, it's like bobsled is just not on ESPN every night. That's just a fact. So, I mean, it's just not going to get the market share necessarily that.
No.
And I also can't just go to buy a lift ticket and go bobsled, myself.
No,
like I can try to snowboard.
No, you'd have to go either in Park City or in Lake Placid or in Whistler and go to the track. You can do a passenger ride. I mean, it's like...
Ooh, that's something we should do, I think.
That'd be cool.
It's like $200, and you can go down the track from a lower start. So you're not getting the full experience, which it's unfortunate. If you're in Whistler, I highly recommend it. Whistler is like... That was a lot of fun. I didn't realize it was going to be that fast from start 5 or curve 5.
And anyone can do that?
Anyone can do that.
Wow.
Yeah, I had a blast doing that one. But all the other tracks, like they're fine, especially if it's the first time. But for someone like me, it's been on the top of the track and like going that low, it's just like this is
right.
It's like a diver who's like knows what it's like to jump off the top. It's like
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I'm 100%. Surprised that they don't like make me get like a physical first before putting me on that.
Well, you sign a waiver.
Oh, that's true. So who cares? Yeah, they don't care. You're definitely signing a waiver.
Yeah, 100%.
That's funny. So from like a mental perspective, did you guys ever have like? I always think of the Olympics that they have access to maybe like special sports psychology coaches that only you all get to meet or something. Like is there some what's these mental secrets that we can get from an Olympian?
I mean, honestly, it's they're not really secrets. It's just doing simple things with intent, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. Taking action on things a lot quicker, having a lot of attention behind each decision you make, and just putting in the hard work day in and day out, and knowing that you might be behind, if that makes sense. So there's no complacency, really.
Okay.
Like the way my mind worked, especially like when I first got in the sport to when I ended it, even to this day with business, it's just like I always thought I needed to prove something, like to not only to other people but to myself, and I put a lot of work in. And I just put in the reps. It's a lot of reps they need, and so I just like went above and beyond what they made us do, like from an organized perspective. So there's a lot of things I can do outside of that I can control, and yeah, I just always had that mindset where okay, I'm not just trying to make the team. I'm trying to like obviously make the first team and dominate being on the first team.
Yeah.
So So I think that's like the biggest difference between like the high performers and just the people that are just there. Especially nowadays with social media and things like that. There's way more people. This is like one of my like big like pet peeves. Things that bother me a lot is like there's just so many more people out there now that are more curious and concerned about how people view them on social media. Athletes, which is crazy.
Their image. Their online image.
Yeah, and they completely forget about the work that has to go into their sport in order to compete at a high level. And it drives me nuts. Right. Absolutely nuts. And like, yeah, don't get me wrong. Like, people want to follow you. They want to know what you're doing. That's fine. Content's fine. But there's just some people that take it too far. And then they're concerned, or not concerned, but like upset or frustrated that they're not getting the results that they want. And I'm just like, just take a look at what you're doing. Like, take some inventory.
Yeah.
You're focusing all your energy in the wrong areas instead of focusing it on like, all right, I got this plan in place. I got to follow it to a T, where maybe someone's like, oh, I can take today off, or maybe I can do like a set less here. It doesn't work like that.
Right.
Like
at this high level, it's not going to work.
The gains are fractional. If that makes sense. Like, the higher you get, like, you can't just like do something, expect like a large like gain from someone else. Like, the gains are fractional now at this point because everyone's good.
Yeah.
Everyone's strong, everyone's fast, everyone is smart, everyone, can slow things down, whatever it is, whatever the sport is or the skill set is. Like, it's just you got to be intentional and focus more on that and put your energy and time and effort into that. So, but again, like, I don't get me wrong, like, social media is a great platform for branding and letting people know what you do, but I think too many people focus too much on it, and it bleeds into their performance everywhere else.
Yeah.
That's my 2 cents.
Well, okay, so a lot of these sports like that during these Olympics, it's kind of fast, right? And I think of golf as like it's a 5-hour endeavor, So I mean, like, what things can you pull from these sports that maybe only take 3 minutes, into a 5? I've struggled with that with golf. It's so long that like I could be thinking mentally great for 3 of those hours, but then if one of the hours I go south and I get like 2 12s in a row, and it's like it all got thrown away. And then how do you deal with that after too? The
adversity of like bad things happening,
or trying to just maybe prevent that from happening. Like, I don't know.
I mean, my mindset is just like, all right, if it happens, it happens. It's like next, all right, next shot or next rep, or hey, I didn't have it today, tomorrow, like, keep the routine the same. Like, especially if I think a lot of people focus too much on the bad than the good. I was actually just thinking about this yesterday, where I think it was because like one of my buddies texted me. I was helping him make some sports bets over the weekend, and like thinking about it in my head, I saw the results. I'm like, man, he must have lost a lot of money. And I think I was like focusing too much on like the picks I made that didn't work, because he texted me saying, "Oh, I won $5,000." I'm like, what? How? I thought we picked all losers. He's like,
some of them won. Apparently,
he's like, yeah, like actually most of them won. So I think in our minds, I'm thinking to myself, like, man, we focus too much on the bad than the good.
Yeah.
So I think if you can just like do a 180 on that and focus more on like the good shots that you've hit, or the good reps that you had, or the good races that you did, whatever it might be, it doesn't matter if it's sport or business or whatever, like, just focus on the wins.
I like that.
Don't focus on like the losses.
I like that, because we use so much brain power, sulking or thinking about the things that went bad, in around like that ship that I didn't go up and down on, and I'm so mad about it. But it's like, wait, you also parred the hole before that, and in a great, it was a beautifully played hole.
Yeah, you had 15, 16 great holes. You maybe had 2 bad holes, but think about the good ones. And we just don't do that.
It's so hard. Yeah. Yeah.
we just don't do that. It's everyone's guilty.
For sure.
Everyone's guilty.
No, I know that Andrew's big on routine, right?
Oh, yeah. No, I mean, I firmly believe kind of what you said. It's like you stick to your routine.
Yeah.
But I do have this belief that, like, if you're trying to go from a 12 to a 8, the routine itself could be the problem as that differential shrinks.
100%.
And it's like you need to make a significant change in your routine or your approach to actually move to the next step. And if that's the goal, then
that's just part of growing too. Like if you it's like the old saying, we hear it all the time, if you're not growing, you're dying. So like you could be at the top of your game. You can be like a Kobe or a Michael Jordan or whatever, or Tiger, and they were still making changes even though they were at the top of their game.
Mm.
It's just, to me, it's crazy. So it's like you always have to learn from other people, or if you have a mentor, continue to learn from them. If something piques your interest and you think it could make a difference in your game or whatever you're doing, then try it. Why not? What do you got to lose? And if it works out better, then cool. Now you're just getting closer to, getting better at whatever it is that skill set is. Or if it's one of those things where you're always chasing perfection, then you're gonna drive yourself mad. But at the same time, like if you feel like it's making a difference, then continue to do it.
Mm-hmm.
But everything's always evolving and adapting, so I feel like you have no choice but to change things over time.
Yeah.
If you're not growing, you're dying. I like that.
Yeah. So yeah, that makes all the sense in the world. You have to continue to find ways to become better and evolve.
Yeah. Got it. Well, I think that's a great one to leave everyone with. Carlo, I want to thank you so much, man, for joining us today.
Of course.
2-time Olympian Carlo Valdes. Let's play some golf soon.
Yeah, I mean, every week I feel like there's opportunity.
I'll see you on the links, man.
Yeah.
All right, peace.